very short spiritual documentary pieces that went out late at night. And Helen asked me to use this as a platform to promote the archive and Magella's donation of it. And so Magella had to tell the whole story of the Ogoni Nine in precisely 43 seconds, which she did beautifully. And I was delighted that, I think it was Helen who originally then had the idea of doing something else, and something else evolved into the audio archive. And I got to spend no less than 7 hours listening to Magella tell the story, not just of Nigeria and her work there, but also her life in Ireland and her formation as a religious missionary. And I think it's interesting in the slides that we have to see how much people have listened to Magella's story, and I think lots of the different dimensions to that. The audio archive itself is a really interesting thing, and I was struck by Magella's comment earlier that this is a project of words, both written words, spoken words, and I think the audio archive speaks to that. It's another place in which the story gets told. So technically, it was easy enough to produce and research the story because of access to Magella, but also to some very brilliant academic works, like The Politics of Bones, which tells the story in a huge amount of detail and gives a lot of insight into the story of Ogoni. Technically, it's a very, very simple way of recording activism. It's very easy to record, there's very little editing required, it was uploaded to SoundCloud, and it's easy to store there. In addition to that, though, it's amazing to have the resource of the library and the constant promotion work that's done by the library, by Elaine and the rest of the staff who can promote the work very regularly as well. The strength, I think, of the piece that you see here is that it's a very detailed account. It can go into, because it's unedited, it goes into an awful lot of detail on the story, and so people can cut in and edit that as they need to. It's also, I think, a very direct account of the story. It's in people's own voices, and it was particularly lovely to meet Wiwa and to have him recount his story in a very unedited and live manner. So it's very much people's direct voices retelling their story. And I think it's kind of poignant today that we're remembering Ken Jr., because I think somewhere in the back of our minds we maybe hoped that one day he might make some kind of contribution. And now there will be a silence within the archive itself. And so I suppose it speaks to that activist instinct to not just do things, but to do things now, and to do them in the moment. And that's why I particularly admire Helen managing to nab Graham to do a piece, and maybe hopefully Samuel, we might give you more than a few weeks to get your acts together, but perhaps this time next year we may have further additions to the archive, because it is another lovely strength of it. The story can grow as people become involved and engaged and active within it. So I think it's a tribute to Maynooth and to the library that they have created this archive that you can see lots of different tracks. You can go online and have a listen. It's a place that the story can be held and future-proofed. When you've worked in broadcasting for any length of time, you're tripping over things called SP tape, or tape at all, and file storage, and where files are going to be stored is a shifting sand, and it's great that an institution takes on the job of protecting that story, and the work of archivists and digital archivists is massively important in that regard. So I'm glad that this story is not just recorded, but also future-proofed. It's kept as a record for future decades. And I think the fact that it's publicly available is really important as well. Are those the slides there?
Yes, they are. If you click on that one, there's 2 slides now, that one.
So these are the latest this year's statistics on the archive and where it's been listened to. So you can see it's got a huge followership in Ireland, but also in the United States. The UK and Nigeria will be the main places where it's been heard. But I think there's something really inspiring in the diversity of other countries where the story gets heard and gets listened to as well.
Go down to the next one, then you can see the most popular.
And then this is the ones that are most popular, and as I was saying, Magella.
Searching for me.
Everybody's searching for Magella.
You're winning.
Yeah.
Security force, right?
Everybody's trying to track it down. So Magella's top of the pops, followed by Owen's and Edith's work. And we were privileged as well to interview Noah, and it's lovely to have her voice on record as well. But as I said, I think the other person missing in that list, and particularly to be remembered today, is Ken Jr. And on that note, I'll hand over to Helen to talk a little bit more about that.
Thanks.